So you have Gabrielle Union, who is shading NBC and Simon Cowell from what she's saying, and this is very interesting. Hey guys, it's Murad Morali. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. Back at it again with another video, daily and consistent. I'm always here for you guys. Do subscribe, click that button for daily and consistent content, and let's get into this video. Now we all know about this whole situation with Gabrielle Union, being allegedly fired from this particular show because of the unfortunate series of events that she went through. Which I feel like were very sad. It's something that people should not go through, but she has spoken up about it, or her husband has, and it's come to the light, and everybody has been speaking about it for the past month or so. Now she is completely shading them, and it's probably the first time that she is officially breaking her silence in a kind of verbal manner. Speaking on a female empowerment and inclusivity panel at the launch of her holiday collection with New York & Company, Gabrielle Union alluded to her firing from America's Got Talent. While she did not call out the NBC series, Union's comments marked the first time since the departure from the show that she addressed workplace inequalities in a public forum. Giving advice on being a leader in the workplace, Union said, "Don't be the happy end that does the bidding of the status quo because you are afraid. Don't allow them to call you angry when someone else is called passionate. It's terrifying. There's a solid chance you'll lose your job. I speak from experience." She quipped, though never mentioning America's Got Talent. Do your best because corporations want global dollars. Do your best to try to hold the door open and hold people responsible. Yeah, I'm aware you're asking to do the impossible. I'm fully aware that job loss is on the table, but if you're not doing it, nobody is. I think that last part is very powerful. If you're not questioning the status quo, if you're not doing it, who else is going to do it? Or if you're not doing it, nobody else is doing it. Speaking to the media crowd alongside other activists and models, how many checks do I need? The financial freedom? There's shackles masquerading as zeros in my bank account. There are a lot of people who are only interested in filling their own plate. I can't enjoy my food if everyone else is starving. Union discussed speaking her truth, explaining that she always found power through authenticity, even when it's tough, especially in an industry where women of color have a history of being sidelined. Union spoke about the difficulties of navigating the grand question, what will I lose? Throughout her entire life, using the analogy of being the chip in the cookie, the only black person in the room, Union explained that ever since she was a little girl, she was wrestled with the challenges that come along with speaking up, even when you know you're speaking up for what's right. Being the chip in the cookie, you are always in the situation where you are seeing things, hearing things, and you're presented with a choice. What kind of chip am I going to be? Interesting, she explained. Are you going to assimilate and allow all of this to go on? Or are you going to say something and immediately be othered? Are you going to say something? You know it's wrong. Everyone knows it's wrong. Union shared that she realized she was experiencing anxiety, depression, fear, and terror every single day because her mind was constantly burdened with the question, am I going to say something? Eventually, I couldn't sleep. I knew I obsessed about every single time in my life where I did not say anything. And it got to the point where I was like, that's not right. And every time I tried to speak up and the world didn't end and I could speak a little bit better, I knew I was doing the right thing. It just made it so much easier. Throughout Union's life, while she knew that she could lose everything by speaking up, her job, her friendships, her marriage, she says she realized that she cannot have real freedom or peace if she's sitting on the truth and knowing what's wrong. Very interesting. I've got to call it how it is in real time, she said. But you have to navigate. What will I lose? I have to weigh all these things. How much am I willing to lose for the peace? How much am I willing to lose for the peace? Asking on the panel about the ups and downs of being a leader, Union said the upside of leading is being able to control the situation. But the downside is being the first to speak up and needing to take the bullet at times. When you're a follower, often you're not being led by the right person. Interesting. That is not what paradise or salvation looks like to me. You're using more to prop up fraudulent systems. I want no part of that, so I'd rather lead, even if I don't know where the hell I'm going. As long as I have air in my lungs, I will always try to cover us all, and I will certainly try to center the leads of the most marginalized. This I find interesting because one thing that I've kind of listened to and heard is that a lot of people say silence is power, silence is power. And of course that is adaptable to different situations, but here she says speak up when it comes to situations like this, and if you don't, it's going to be playing on the minds. I feel like you can play both cards and it just depends on what situations they are, because both of these kind of, decorums of life, let's just say, are very valid. I feel like what she said here is very truthful, and I feel like she spoke in a very eloquent way because this article was definitely quoting her. So it seemed that it was done in a very kind of, way where she, if she's obsessing over this, she's probably going to obsess over how she's going to talk about it. And now she's broken her silence for the first time, shading NBC, shading Simon Cowell, and really stands in her own light, in her own right, and it lets people know that she is not somebody to mess with. And obviously has spoken about a lot of valid concerns that I'm pretty sure a lot of people could even, you know, experience themselves or have experienced. I'm pretty sure for sure. Let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this. I feel like I'm very glad that she's done this, because perhaps it could even be a snowball effect. We will see. This is the first time that she's officially broken her silence in a public forum, and I find it to be very interesting and just in great depth and substance. Please do subscribe, click that button for daily and consistent content, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.